Hello, in this video we will talk about formatting string using percent symbol in Python. This is also called old style because the new style for the string formatting using brace. And in many programs you can also see this percent format. So generally with percent and with one alphabet represents different formatting style. For example, %s, which means will format for the string, and D for the decimal integer, and X for the hex integer, and so on. And for example, if you want to just use a fixed value, for example, percent, we will show percent in this output, then we can use %. And here E represents the exponential format and G for the decimal exponential float. Then next we will go to Python IDE to see how it is going with this formatting using % symbol. So first we pass an integer to this string because this is a quote, so inside the quotes represent string output. Then we will use %s. Then the result is a string with the inside it 42. And if we use %d, it is also 42 because this will look at this 42 as this decimal value. And if we use X, so the hexadecimal value now, 2a, inside the output of this string. And if we use %o, which is octal value, which means the numbering counting with 8. So the result is a string with the value for 52. If we pass a float value, 7.03 for example, to %s. So this is also just to return this value in a string. If we pass this to the float, then you can see there extra 0040 is added. And if we pass to % with exponential, so this is exponential format with +00, which is the power of 10. And if we pass to the G, here is just 7.3. If we want to get a % of 100 here, so first use a %d will get this value. And we use %, we'll add the % symbol after this value. So now the result is 100%. And you can also set the value first in this variable. Then we can concatenate into a string by passing this variable. So X, cat, and weight, 3 variable. These two are string and this is the scalar. Then we create a long sentence. My wife's favorite actor is with string passing value with the actor. So it is quite understandable. Just a richer gear is passed. And if we pass the string and two string with cat and weight, also very easily understand, a 28 pounds passed and with the cat here. For variables, we can also define integer n and a float and a string here. So you can set this variable first. Then we will format using default width. So you can see the default width for the decimal is 42, and float is this one, and string is this one. We have seen this output in the previous example. So now we can set the width 10 for the minimum width. Then we can set 10D, 10 before this D, and 10 before this F, and 10 before this S. You can see how it is going. If we pass 3 variables to each kind of this percent symbol with minimum length 10. So now the decimal part is 42, but with space on the left side. And for floating part is also added with several space on the left side, because that minimum 10 for the width. So here is 8, so 2 space. And for the string, because the original value is wider than 10, so it is output at this value. And if we want to output same as before, but with the left aligned, so we can add dash before this 10 for each part. So now 42 with minimum 10 for the width, but aligned to the left. Same for the float output and with this string. And this time we can set a maximum character with 4 for each part. So we can add 4 after dot here. So this means minimum 10 but maximum 4. Minimum 10, maximum 4, and minimum 10, maximum 4. This is strange, but Python will output with the most reasonable for each part. So here, the width total is 10, but decimal part is 4. So you can see 0, 0, 42. And for the float, the total length is 10, total width is 10, but the decimal part is 4 now, with 2 0 extra. And for the string, because total width is 10, but the string part is maximum is 4 here. So this minimum and maximum apply to different things. Minimum is for the total width output, but maximum is for float is for decimal part. For the float is also is the decimal part, and for the string is the string part. This time we can only use the minimum part with 4, but without the maximum. We only use the maximum part for each part of this string output, but without the minimum for the width. So just dot for D, dot for F, and dot for S. So it's quite compact, concise for this output. And finally, we can use one form, just passing all the lengths width for total width and for floating decimal and string part for the maximum 4, passing all these values and with this scalar to this output. So you can see percent star star, these two star represent these two number, and with D at the middle. Then ESD represents this value for decimal output. Then next, percent star asterisk asterisk for these two number, and with F for this F value, and percent 2 asterisk with dot middle represent these two number, and with S passed to this S format. Exactly same as the previous output, this one, right? Thanks for watching.